Welcome back to the Airborne Podcast. We're back at it with the number one podcast. It's about to be the number one podcast, and I'm a number one Raptors fan. I'm a huge diehard Raptors fan, but this one makes me look like a casual. We got Braveen on the podcast. What's good, bro?
Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it, yo. It's a Raptor fan to Raptor fan, you know? It's what connected us, right?
100%.
It's the love for the team that brought us together, yo.
100%. The Raptors, they're not having the best season right now, but, we've already been through this path before with the hard times with the Raptors before they won the championship.
Honestly, we going through the whole Banyani stuff, that era, and the era with what's his name? I forget his name. The shitty draft pick we picked.
Rafael Arujo.
There we go, Arujo. Rafael. That guy. We went through him. We went through the whole Popso era.
Yeah.
We went through all that, and then the fact that we're still Raptor fans is it's mind blowing.
The Raptors fans are built different, right?
100%. But you know what? Patience paid off. You know why? Because we got this.
Okay.
This.
You had it ready to go, huh? Not just that. Look at the back of your background right there, bro. The 3 frames right there.
Yo, this is my wall of fame, yo. We got the 92, the 93 Jays, and we got the Raptors in the middle.
You got to, right? The Raptors got to be in the middle.
Gotta respect them.
But honestly, though, before we get into everything about the recent events with the Raptors, Andrea Bargnani, from your opinion, wasn't that bad of a player, right?
Yo, to be honest, man, I don't think he was a bad player. He shot the ball. He was if you look back at it, he was winning us games, right? But again, I was a little kid. I saw him shoot the threes, and I was mind blown. I was so flabbergasted. I was wow, this guy can do it.
There's 2 things I want to say about that. There's one time we went head to head with Amari Stoudemire at the Garden, dropped 41 points.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I feel like he's a player that was ahead of his era. I feel like right now, the way the game's being played right now, where the 3-point shot is the emphasis in the game, I feel like he would have capitalized and went crazy, being playing the 5 position and shooting those threes.
100%. Honestly, I don't even know what happened to the whole Banyani segment. Honestly, I felt like if he came into the league a few years later and was I don't know, if he came a few years later, I feel like he would have made an impact. But it is what it is, right?
Injuries derailed his career too, right?
I remember the other guy, what's his name? Jorge Gabajosa.
Yeah, I was literally on my mind right now while you're talking.
Yo, that guy is amazing in Europe, yo. Him, Calderon, they all play on a Spanish team. They killed it.
But he got the nasty injury though, right?
That's another thing, the injuries, yo. But
even when we had TJ Ford, remember he had that back injury against Atlanta?
Yeah, man. You know what's funny though? Just recently, I was going through all these random podcasts and stuff, and you remember Candace Parker? So her brother Anthony Parker. I'm yo, I know Anthony Parker's my boy. Well, not
you didn't know that. You didn't know they were siblings?
Well, I did, but then it just.
You didn't think about it like that.
Yeah, I'm just it was a while, right? And then I'm oh shit, and then, but man, remember that squad? Anthony Parker. I think it was Anthony Parker.
Jose Calderon, Chris Bosh.
Yeah.
I think was Hito Turkoglu on that team?
Maybe, I can't remember. I think we had Jamario Moon that year too, right?
I think that was DeMar DeRozan's rookie year. I think.
Probably, but yeah, damn, yo, shit. See, we went through it all.
We had a lot of players. Remember when we had Chris Bosh and Jermaine O'Neal on our team?
Yeah, I remember that, yo. That Jermaine O'Neal was supposed to be our savior. Instead, he just retired, man. Became a retirement season for him.
Hito Turkoglu came to the Raptors, finessed us, and just did bare primo commercials.
Hito Turkoglu was he just came, stole our money, and just left, bro. He was I'm here to take your money and cut.
The only thing that was anything. If there's one thing you can say that he did well, it was that one post-game interview he did with Jack Armstrong, where it's still there on YouTube and stuff. Something about when he kept saying ball. He's
yeah. I remember it.
Yeah.
But honestly, if we got the Orlando Hito Turkoglu, honestly, if that translated into the Raptor, if it meshed well with our chemistry, we would have been unstoppable. But again, Hito was another problem.
He wasn't. I don't even think he was the same player at that time though. Like when
Uh,
he came to the Raptors. But I mean, I enjoyed reminiscing about the past, but let's get back to the present about the Raptors right now. We already know they had a bad 2-8 start to begin the season. You know, a lot of Raptor fans who probably started watching the Raptors since they won the championship were
yeah,
like tank the season to get a good draft pick for next season.
yeah,
But honestly, like we knew they lost Ibaka and Marc Gasol in the offseason, and we knew it was gonna have an impact. But
yeah.
the thing is that we didn't know it was gonna have this much of an impact. And I feel like Chris Boucher kind of like is covering up for that, but Baines has been asked completely. And I just want to know your
You know
opinion.
what it is though? Like I've been reading and hearing all about this. Nick Nurse's defensive style is so complex that like a lot of people are like it's like studying for exam. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of complexity towards it, right? So
Mhm.
like if we had the summer league, if we had preseasons, I feel like that would have given us an advantage, right? But
Mhm.
we jumped straight into the
The
league.
next season, yeah.
Yeah, we jumped straight into it that we didn't have that transition to
Mhm.
practice or to get better as a team, right?
Mhm.
So that's why we went 2-8, and then now we're finally picking it up because people
Mhm.
it takes time, right? It's like a repetition, and then boom, you finally get a hang of it.
I mean, we started off 2-8, but now, I mean, since then we went 10-6.
Now we're like eighth place, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, we were up until the Boston game. We were right until before the Boston game. We were 12-13 and fifth, tied for fifth, and we lost to Boston, so we dropped a little bit. But overall, right now our record is 12-14.
I think we're like 5 games behind first, right? Let's not obviously like think
Yeah.
far ahead, but
Mhm.
the fact that we're 5 games behind first and we start off 2-8, it's like it's crazy, right? It tells you that anything's possible.
But do you? I
Shout out
mean,
Kevin Garnett. Sorry, Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett, the championship parade. I mean, the championship right when they won it, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
post
yeah,
game. The question is though, like, obviously you said we're like in the middle between in the top eight, right?
yeah.
But realistically, I mean, don't think as a Raptors fan and don't think biased, but like, do you really think that we could really compete with the top four teams in the playoff round?
Yo, to be honest, without a big, I don't think so. I think Chris Boucher is yo. Don't get me wrong, Chris Boucher is wicked. I like him, but the fact that we had JV body him, the fact that we have like who else? It was someone else recently. It was bodying him, and he was being able to compete. But my I guess JV was the most recent memory I can think of that
Mhm.
JV was bullying him. I think JV had like a career high, not career high, a season high that game
Yeah,
against us. He came back from COVID and then he just demolished us, right?
I think he had like almost like a 2020 game that day.
Yeah, and like he hasn't done that in a while, right? And the fact that, so that being said, like the top four teams have big guys that can like put us to sleep, right? I
Mhm.
think number one is Embiid, right? Embiid can take care of us. Number two, I think who's
Brook
second?
Lopez, no, Milwaukee, Brook
Milwaukee.
Lopez.
Milwaukee they got everyone's tall in that squad,
No,
right?
they got Brook Lopez at the center position.
You see, Brook Lopez will kill us. And then I think number three was Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn and they bought
See,
Boston.
Brooklyn, like after that game against Brooklyn, I was like, whatever. I think we can beat them, but like, hey, they have what DJ, and then number
Yeah,
four.
but no, I mean, if there's anyone scary in the conference that you can never bet against, it's the Brooklyn Nets. I would take my money on us playing against Milwaukee and us playing against Philadelphia over Brooklyn because they got the three best finishers in the conference, hands down.
100%. And Joe Harris, man, sleeper. That guy's a sleeper.
Yeah,
Okay?
he made 75 million this year. Right? 4 years, 75 million. He signed a contract.
100%. But like I said, like I don't think we can go against those top four teams because those teams have fives have like the fifth seed. So like the centers who can like outbody us and outwork us. Um, but if we can fill that position, I'm ready. I'm ready to put my money in and like say, hey, let's go Raptors.
So, so since we're on the topic of center positions, obviously Aron Baynes hasn't lived up to the expectations of what we thought he could do. Even though Marc Gasol, we were bashing him throughout last season during the playoffs,
Yeah,
based on like how he performed against Boston and even Brooklyn. Um, he still has that extra gear in him, he was a former All-Star. He could still shoot the three. A lot of people were bashing him because he couldn't make the three during the times where it counted the most. But the one aspect I feel like we're missing is he's an amazing facilitator for guys like Norman Powell, even Terrence Davis, and that aspect is gone. And Aron Baynes, he can pass, but he's not the passer that Marc Gasol is. So my question to you is, Alex Len obviously got waived. He was our backup, and they want to give those minutes to Chris Boucher because he's really competing for most improved player of the year.
Yeah.
But if you were to pick a center or do a trade for Aron Baynes, who would you like to see on the Toronto Raptors?
Ooh, good question. Man, in terms of centers, like I'll be okay. So like, if I put my GM hat on, I will go I'll go target the Cavs. Cavs have a lot of bigs that can give up, right? Let's start. Okay, for example, like I know he's kind of old and he's been in the league for a while, but Kevin Love would have been a good fit, right? Kevin Love, I think would be a good fit. If we can grab Larry Nance Jr. He's not like as a known name, but I feel like he'll be a better fit than Aron Baynes. Aron Baynes reminds me of like, don't get me wrong, but reminds me of a poor man's version of Jonas Valanciunas, right? He's slow. We have little guys who outwork him on the board. You know what I mean? Like as a big guy, your role is to get that ball, right? But like little forwards or small forwards, are outbodying him and getting those rebounds, right? And then when this guy shoots a three, it's like a little oof, you know what I mean?
He has like an awkward shot.
Yeah, like so that kind of stuff like irks me, right? Not irks me, but that kind of stuff like
irks you.
Yeah, that's the word, man. Irks, man. See, poof. But yeah, I wouldn't mind Larry Nance Jr. I wouldn't mind Kevin Love. Anyone from the Cleveland squad.
Would you be willing to take that contract though?
See, that's another thing. Kevin Love's contract is kind of hefty, right?
It's like I think when he signed it was a 4-year, $120 million contract. I think.
Yeah, see, that's a hefty contract. Like I wouldn't do that, but
I think he's 2 years into the contract now. Like this is the second year.
Yeah.
So if we did trade for him, it'd be 2 years. One person I do, sorry to cut you off, but one person I do think that we should go for that I think in our system and the way we play could resurrect his career is Blake Griffin.
Oh yeah, your big would be good for 100%. Yeah.
But like the way Detroit's using him right now, and obviously Dwayne Casey's our former head coach of our Raptors team, but like I feel like the emergence of like guys like Jeremy Grant, even Josh Jackson's playing really good. They got Wayne Ellington as a 3-point shooter. Like we can pick off players like that. I feel like Blake Griffin, he doesn't even look like he's happy playing there, bro. Like to be honest, I don't think he is.
Man, I agree. Like I forgot about Blake Griffin. Like, I forgot he's still in the league. But yeah, I know Blake Griffin is that guy can still play 100%. I wouldn't mind him on the squad.
And I feel like maybe we don't need to start him unless we're going small ball because he's a strong enough dude to handle the 5, right?
For sure.
And maybe even sometimes like he can come off the bench. To be honest, I really feel like his contract is hefty, but I feel like he's someone that we can play around with in different ways. Who can also shoot the 3. I mean, he's improved the shot over the years.
Sure.
I feel like Detroit isn't a team like they're not going anywhere. So I feel like maybe he should go to another playoff caliber team like the Raptors, where he can prove us to kind of take us to that next level where he might still be able to give us those valuable minutes and points in the playoffs when we need them.
For sure. No, I agree. Yeah. I was gonna say shout out to Jermaine Grant. That guy.
Jeremy Grant.
Yeah, that guy's killing it. That guy is doing really well for the Pistons. Like that guy came from the Nuggets, and then even the Nuggets. Like I didn't know who he was till the bubble. He got to the bubble, and I see him play along with Jamal Murray, and he was doing pretty well. That's when I started to know who he was.
He bet on, quote unquote, Fred VanVleet's line, bet on himself.
Yeah.
And he wanted a bigger role on the offensive end, and he went to the Detroit Pistons, signed a 3-year contract for $60 million.
Yeah.
And
there you go. He's killing it right now.
Right?
Bro,
we dropped it like what, 27 points a game, I think, or something.
Yeah, 24 or 27 points per game. Yeah. So I have him on my fantasy. That guy is killing it.
You drafted him?
I drafted. I picked him up. I was like, I told you I had seen the bubble, and I'm like, this guy's actually pretty good. So I picked him up on my fantasy, and he's killing it. So shout out to
Jeremy Grant. Well, on a side note, though, what round did you pick him, though?
I think I picked him fourth or fifth. I can't remember exactly where I dropped him, but I
Yeah,
dropped him pretty deep. Like he was a sleeper, and no, he panned out well.
him and imagine the one mistake with Detroit and another player that's probably in the run for most improved player is Christian Wood. He was on the Detroit Pistons. Yeah? He
He
would
was,
have been solid on that team.
he's in Houston now, right?
Yeah, he's in Houston now, but he could have literally it could have been a front court of Jeremy Grant,
Yeah,
Christian Wood, and Blake Griffin, bro.
yeah. Yo, so like side note, Christian Wood, so his rookie card is probably going for around, I think when he emerged it was like $100 for his rookie card. And a lot of people had him like stashed away. They didn't know who he was, had it stashed away in a little stash.
Mhm.
And pulled it out and we're like, geez, yo, this guy's getting $100. Now they're flipping it. So yo,
Oh,
like
100%. Yeah.
it's good to keep your cards. You never know, yo.
Even on Inside the NBA, Shaq was like, "Yeah, I didn't know this guy," and then Shaq interviewed him right after the post game,
Yeah.
and then Christian would call him a casual.
Oh, college access casual.
Yeah, yeah. It was like I don't know, but bro, yeah, we keep getting off topic, but
Yeah.
Aron Baynes. I mean, I don't mind keeping him on our team, but maybe keep him on the second unit. But obviously, Chris Boucher, I feel like Chris Boucher should play more power forward. He doesn't have the body size to play center, bro.
I agree. I agree with you. And if we can pick up a five before trade deadline, I'll be happy. Or we just pick up someone that's available, right? I think there are a few centers that are available. I forget who they were, but I think there are some people that are available that we can pick up. Um, but hey, let's see, Masai, right? Masai, we trust. If we can,
Masai,
uh,
Masai,
if
Masai, we trust 100%.
if we can, but yeah, like I said, man, I'm not a fan of Air Baines. If we can get rid of him, I'll be happy. He takes away 18 minutes per game. His average. Like,
Yeah, I mean, depending on also the matchups too, right? Like against Vucevic, against Joel Embiid, like player like
yeah,
teams that have a big that's actually solid. I think he gets more minutes, but like yeah, when he's playing like ass, like we obviously take him out real quick, and we try to play our style of ball, which is like up and down,
yeah,
fast paced.
space
And I'm really proud of Pascal for like kind of like stepping up to the plate, especially against in that Brooklyn game, like against the Brooklyn Nets.
yeah, yeah.
Primetime TV, he actually stepped up and played well.
You know what's funny? Like the old Pascal, like you will see like the spin, right? You will see the spin, and then
He'll spin out of the arena, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. You'll see that, right? And then recently, you see him back it up, couple dribbles, a one spin and in. It's none of those four spins that he used to do. Now it's just like one spin and in, which
Mm,
like he's changing the way he balls now, which is good.
that's true. Um, but like, I mean, I obviously like tonight, OG is definitely gonna. I think he might come back tonight. If he does come back tonight, and the way Norman Powell's playing, I feel like they're gonna go small ball
For sure.
against Towns. Because if you remember last season, when we had Ibaka, Marcus all injured, they put Rondae Hollis Jefferson at the five, and they were able to survive.
For sure, for sure.
And yeah, I mean, I really do want to focus on. There's two positions I really want to focus on. What are we gonna do with Kyle Lowry, and what are we gonna do about the center position? As a Raptors fan, I don't want to do any. I don't want to do him dirty like that
Yeah, I
because
agree.
I don't think the way Masai handled DeRozan was right.
Yeah,
But desperate times call for desperate measures, and obviously at that time we flunked out in the playoffs 2 years in a row, got swept by Cleveland back-to-back years, and I felt like even though Masai shouldn't have told DeRozan at that time that he wasn't going to trade him and then trade him.
yeah.
But at the same time, maybe Kawhi wasn't available at that time, and then obviously if you can get your hands on a top five player,
Might as well, right?
do it. I mean, it paid off. Looking back at it now, 2 years later, like
Paid
100%.
off, yo. That wouldn't be there, yo.
Yeah, you got the memorabilia right there, bro.
For sure.
Like
No,
100.
I agree. Like sorry I cut you off, but
No, no.
I I agree in the sense that like I love Kyle Lowry, I love DeMar. I'll be honest, I wasn't really a Kyle Lowry fan when he first came to Toronto.
Mhm.
I thought he was sus. I thought that
Mhm.
he just like he was another point that we picked up.
Mhm.
Well, I think we picked him up thinking that we can get Steve Nash. Why that trade never happened, and then
No, no. Sorry to cut you off, but no, we were initially supposed to sign Steve Nash that offseason,
oh
but
yeah.
because we couldn't get him, we traded for Kyle Lowry.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. So something like that, yeah, something like that. So
Mhm.
anyway, so like we believed in Kyle Lowry, and look at him now, right? Like he's like our I think top five Raptor all time or something crazy like that, right?
Would you consider him the greatest Raptor of all time?
To be honest, I'm a Carter fan. I'll always consider Carter one of my
Number one.
favorite Raptors, but I think
In terms of his accomplishments, would you put him as the greatest Raptor of all time?
100%, 100%, 100%. I think him and DeMar will be the top Raptors of all time in my books. I wouldn't consider Kawhi a top Raptor, just
Because he
because
was there for
here
one
for the
season.
season.
Mhm.
I feel like a Carter, and me being biased, I'm gonna put JV on there too. JV's my guy.
But the thing I wanted to ask you was, I mean, I know you like a lot of people would disagree with you about Kawhi
Yeah. I know,
and
100%.
would say, like, even though you say 1 year, the man came in 1 year in
Yeah,
300 and literally 365 days and did what he said. I mean, not what he said he was going to do, but
what we
came in.
told him to do.
Yeah, and like what we traded his ass for, like what we traded him for, like we brought him into the
Word.
Raptors organization for that one reason, and he was able to accomplish it.
I
And
agree.
I'll never forget this one game, that game 4 against Philadelphia in Philly, us down 2-1. The man was clutch throughout the whole night, and he hit that step back three
Yeah.
on Joel Embiid
Yeah.
and put us up by 4 and put everyone to ease, and it was a wrap after that. And then the game 7 shot, obviously we know about
Yeah.
Milwaukee.
I agree. Honestly, like I agree, but like you can't do my boy Kyle like that. You know what I mean? Kyle's been loyal to the team, so that's why I think Kyle.
I'm not sorry to cut you off. I'm not saying to put him as your number one. I'm saying he
Top
should be one of your top players
okay,
on that list.
okay. See, like my top five list usually will be consist of people like loyalty. You know what I mean? But yeah, I see your perspective. I get it. But I'm more of a side of like like who's been there from the start, not from the start, but like who's helped the Raptors over the years, right? But yeah,
So
you're right.
you put
I agree with you.
so you put Sonny Weems, Andrea Bargnani,
Nah,
and
nah, none of those clowns, yo. Those clowns came, took my money, and they ran away, yo. Sunny
not
week,
even Jamario, not even Jamario Moon.
yo. Jamari Moots went to the moon with my money, bro. I don't know.
Yeah, those guys are. I mean, even if we talk all the shit about those guys, I mean, they did leave us with a couple memories here and there.
I agree, but hey, you know what? Like I said from the beginning, I wasn't really a Lowry fan when he joined. I was kind of, and like, I don't know if you remember, but remember Game 7 against Brooklyn? This guy drove into what was it, Paul Pierce
And
and
got blocked.
Kevin Garnett, and they got his ass blocked. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then I was pissed. I was like, yo, like what the hell, man? Like you could have passed. You could have done something much more sophisticated, right? But I guess it comes down to playoff experience, right? I don't think he had much playoff experience, and I
But
think he wanted the moment. He wanted that moment. You know what I mean?
moment, yeah. But like at the same time, like as a fan, when we're looking at it, the angle we have is not the same angle they
Yeah,
have when they're playing, right?
I agree. Yeah,
So we could see it all from perspective, but like for them, it might be harder to like know where to pass, right? And you also have to be clock aware, right? Like
yeah,
obviously there's a shot clock or whatever, even the game clock.
for sure, no, for sure.
I mean, unless we're in that position, we'll never know. But yeah, I know what you're saying. I mean, we were about to trade him like to New York, right? And then what's it called? James Dolan's the one who pulled the plug on that, and eventually it worked out for us because the next 6-7 years of our Raptors time has been amazing. Like every year playoffs.
We will trade him for who? I forget who's
I
forget who.
don't remember. I don't remember what the trade was for, but at that time, when Masai came in, he wanted to like throw out everybody. He wanted to trade DeRozan, wanted to trade Lowry, but Lowry's name was the main one that was in trade talks. And then we were willing to do it, and it was ready to go, but the New York side is the one that pulled out.
Well, thank you, James Dolan. You're a shitty GM. You're a shitty owner, and I'm glad that your team's shit.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, imagine if Kyle Lowry, the main guy, like the heart and soul of our team, was gone, bro. We wouldn't have what we have today.
We'll do a segment about James Dolan one day. I'll have to talk about that.
I don't want to get started with James Dolan. I mean, you got to give him credit. The New York Knicks are playing really well right now. I mean, not really well, but they're playing solid compared to previous years.
We'll talk more about it later, but I don't have topic. But yeah, no. Shout out RJ Barry. Shout out OB Toppin. Shout out all those
Yeah.
people. But yeah,
Julius, no shout out for Julius Randle.
Yeah, that guy's doing well too, yo. I have him in my fantasy too. I
I
forgot.
was I was telling my brother like we should sign him or trade for him in the offseason, and look how he's playing, bro.
Yeah. Yo,
I didn't know he was gonna play like that though.
he's good, man. He's good. And now they're Derrick Rose, a leader, someone with like maturity. So like, hopefully they can put those guys into shape. So let's see what
Oh,
happens.
okay. I know we jumped off topic again, but I want to stick
Hey,
strictly.
we're
We,
legit.
we have so much basketball knowledge. We're just going everywhere with it,
Yeah, I know, but hey, like, no, it's our first podcast. Hopefully, we'll get
bro. I mean, like this is the first of many to come.
100%.
You're my official co-host along with my brother,
Yes, sir.
who wasn't able to come today, but we're gonna come back tonight with that post-game podcast to talk about what happens in the Minnesota game. But overall, though, like I do want to get back on a center position. We
Yeah,
did talk about Kevin Love. We talked about Andre Drummond. We talked about Blake Griffin. There are talks about maybe Towns maybe being moved. I don't know.
man. If we get talent, I like talent. I think if we
I don't
get,
like his I don't like his motor though. I don't feel like he has a heart. Maybe it's because he's losing so much, but I don't know.
I feel like once you surround them with like leaders such as Kyle Lowry, or you surround them with like people, for example, like even Freddie. I think Freddie's now a vet, right? He's been here
Mhm.
for what, 4 or 5 years.
He got drafted in 2016.
Yeah, so you surround Cat with like with leaders and people who want to win, and I feel like that would change his mindset, right?
Mhm,
Look at Kyle Lowry when he first came to Raptors, right? Um,
mhm,
don't get me wrong, but he wasn't really a winner, right? And
mhm.
then like suddenly he's a six-time All-Star. He's like
NBA
fighting,
champion.
yeah,
Mhm,
NBA champion. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like once you get a fresh start or fresh new like location,
mhm.
um, you may turn stuff around, yo. Who knows, right? But if you
Yeah,
get Cat, let's see. I'm down. If you get Cat, I'm down.
I mean, I don't know if Minnesota's willing to trade him, but obviously, like, I mean, if he is disgruntled moving forward, I mean, he has his best friend D'Angelo with them right now, so I don't know how that's gonna
Yeah,
work.
that's true
But I mean, like, eventually losing's gonna bother everybody.
for sure.
And I mean, they haven't made the playoffs since like what 2018
Yeah,
when Jimmy Butler was there, but before that they didn't make it since 2004.
oh no way. Oh
Yeah, yeah, they were in a drought, and Jimmy's the reason why they got there. And then they got rid of Jimmy obviously because he didn't want to be there anymore.
yeah, yeah, yeah. There's some like
Played with the third stringers and took out everybody.
for sure, for
Um,
sure.
but yeah, like I do really want to like I want to obviously we're probably not gonna do it on this podcast, but like I do really want to like put some trades into the trade machine, and I really want to get into it and talk about it with you.
Yeah, for sure. We'll do that. We'll do that next podcast.
Yeah, like I want to get into the Andre Drummond, like if that's possible. I do want to say though, Andre Drummond, he is on his final year of his contract, so he'll be a unrestricted free agent next season.
You
So I
can get him, yo.
no, I feel like Masai is good enough to be patient
Yeah,
and sign him in the offseason without giving any assets.
for sure.
Because like if you can get him like that, and like I would take that chance. And I feel like I don't know if he deserves 20 million, to be honest. So
Yeah, for sure, for
I
sure.
don't,
That was a lot of money.
I mean, everyone else. I think Blake Griffin signed a 5-year contract before getting traded from the Clippers to Detroit 2 years ago,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and Kevin Love still has 2 years on his contract if we are going to go for him.
No,
But
I think you're right with Masai being patient. I think
mhm,
we might be able to get Drummond, but we'll see. We have when's trade deadline? Trade
I
deadline's
think it's March 26th or March 27th. I
March
think it's March 26th. I think.
March 26th is like a month away ish, or more than
Mhm.
a month away. We'll see what adds up, but we'll see.
Yeah, like even like I mean, not regarding the center position, but we got Patrick McCann, OG Anunoby coming back in the next week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, let's so like I think we were talking about off camera, but
Yeah.
if we can somehow increase the stock value of McCaw and
Mhm,
increase the stock value of say like a Powell or someone,
mhm.
um, we can probably get it big. But hey, we'll talk more about this in our
Yeah, I
trade.
want to I want to keep those like to specific.
Yeah,
I want to like dedicate a specific podcast to those things separately.
for sure.
And I literally just want to stick to the center, like because that's such a big emphasis for us right now. Because
Like,
rebound.
uh,
I'm sorry, I
no,
didn't mean to.
I'm gonna cut you off, but man, like
Mm.
I don't know if you saw a clip recently, but there was a highlight reel recently where Marc Gasol threw a pass in between two defenders
Oh,
and
to LeBron James.
hit LeBron, right?
Mhm.
Man, I'm like, and then immediately thinking back, I'm like, man, I miss those passes. Like those passes with Gasol was like a wicked like thread
Yeah.
the type pass, right?
It's like you don't always have to depend on the point guard and make
Yeah,
it.
but like,
And
but that was like a luxury asset. You know what I mean? Like now
yeah,
I'm like, shit, why can't Aron Baynes do that? But fuck, he can't do it. Yo. He's just like
no, but there's two things I miss with those two guys that left. There's the Marcus All passes because he's such an amazing facilitator. And then the pick and pop with Lowry and Ibaka.
yeah, those high school, but Chris Boucher is getting into a rhythm with Kyle Lowry. If you notice
Yeah,
it,
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
they're getting into it, right? Like they get the high speed and roll, and then
But
you see him roll and boom, pop it in.
but the thing with Chris Boucher is he's not like as fluid as a shooter as Ibaka.
Yeah, that's
Like he's more like he shoots the three pretty good right now, but like in terms of like mid range and stuff, I don't think he's able to do what Ibaka could do.
well, we'll develop him, man. I think there's a lot of room, a lot of
He's not,
room.
he's not that young though. He's like what 20? He's turning 28. He's as old as Norman Powell.
Who, Chris Boucher? No way. And this whole time, but that he was like 23, 24.
No man, he's old. He's a year younger than us.
Shit.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, yo, the developing like that. He should be he's in his prime right now.
Shit. Okay, let's go. All money in. Let's go. Put him. Let's go.
I do want to surround like I like the way Terrence Davis plays, but I want Terrence Davis. I want them to raise Terrence Davis's stock, Norman Powell, Patrick McCaw, put Stanley Johnson in there, throw a couple picks, and get guys like Zach LaVine or Bradley Beal, bro.
Man, if you get Zach LaVine, I doubt Chicago will do it. But if you get Zach LaVine, boom, I'm loving it, yo.
Yeah.
I'm loving it. If you get Zach LaVine, I'll be so happy. But real shit, I don't think Chicago will give up Zach LaVine like that, yo. He's like their poster boy.
Yeah, I know. I do want to run some. I mean, we didn't get the chance to do it today, but I want to talk to you off camera and get some trades run through the ESPN trade machine.
We'll do that, yo. We'll do that.
And do it for different positions, and we'll keep this podcast going. Right? We got
Do it. I'm down.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it for tonight, right? I mean, until we come back for the post game podcast.
Yeah, so 7:30, Raptors play mini, right? We got D'Angelo and we got Mr. Cat against our
And we got the number one pick from this year's draft, Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Yo, that guy's been quiet too. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, but like that's gonna do it for today. I mean, not for today, but for this podcast. And we're gonna be back soon. We'll probably come back in a few hours and talk about the post game podcast after the Raptors smack up the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Let's hope. I'm predicting a W tonight. Let's do it.
Yeah.
100%.
All right. I appreciate you for coming on, and obviously
All right.
you're my co-host now, so I don't need to keep saying that to you.
Let's go.
All right, and then we'll be back soon. All right.
All right.
Peace.
Salute.